Hello and welcome. I'm Mike. My call sign is KG4VDK, and this video is going to help you get up and going with arcOS. So this is actually the second time this has been booted. The first time you boot arcOS after creating your USB drive, it'll prompt you to let you know that it needs to set up persistent storage, or rather that it has set up persistent storage, and then it'll ask you to reboot. So this is actually the second time it's been booted. But this is just a ThinkPad X1 Carbon, and I'm using the Samsung Fit USB drive. This computer is short on USB ports, so I've got a USB hub. So I've got my Digi rig connected to the FT2980 here, and then also connected to the USB hub is a GPS device. So let's go ahead and get started getting set up. Okay, so we're booted in. The first thing we'll need to do is fill out the station setup form. So fill out your call sign, your name, your city, your state, and then your grid square. I've got that available to me because I've got a GPS device already plugged in. So fill out station setup, hit OK. You'll see QRV modules are deployed, and we are currently, you see down here on the right in the information center, 9858168 is the current version that we're on. It's got a question mark beside it because it doesn't know if it's up to date because we're not connected to the internet. So let's connect to a network, and then I'll give it the opportunity to reach out and check to see if it's up to date. These modules are hosted on GitHub, and so every 2 minutes this system reaches out, if it's got an internet connection, to see if the modules that are currently installed are up to date with the current ones on GitHub. And if there's an update available, there'll be an icon to let you know that there is an update. And if they're up to date, there'll be a check mark to let you know that they are up to date. So give that just a couple minutes to verify the status of the modules. Okay, so now we see we have an icon down here to let us know that there is a module update available. So to update the modules, open up a terminal and just type update-modules. It'll reach out to GitHub, it'll pull down the most recent modules, and you'll know that you're good to go. So now that we've updated modules, we want to reboot just to make sure that we are actually using the new modules. So let's go ahead and go for a reboot. Okay, so we've updated modules, we've booted back up, and we're presented with the station setup, and you'll notice that it's already filled out like we filled it out last time. So as long as that's still correct, hit OK. You'll see QRV modules are deployed for your call sign, and you'll notice now here in the QRV modules section that the version number has changed. It still has a question mark next to it because we're not connected to the internet right now, so it doesn't know whether or not that's current. So let's go ahead and make a network connection so that it can reach out and check to make sure that is indeed the most current version. All right, so now we're connected to the network. Let's go ahead and save that network connection so we can use it in the future. You go into the arcOS data portion of the drive in the QRV directory, and then under your call sign, and into arcOS Linux modules. These are the parts that come from GitHub. If you'll go into the core section is where the Wi-Fi module lives. Go into the Wi-Fi directory and just double click on Save Wi-Fi, click Run, and you'll see that the network connection information is saved there, and that way it'll be available on any future boot where that network is available. So if you're at the house and you save your home network connection, next time you boot at the house, it'll be there and automatically connect for you. In a couple minutes, you'll see a check mark pop up down there for the QRV module version once it has reached out and verified that it's up and going. But while we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and get on the air. Let's start Direwolf for a packet modem. You'll see up at the top how it's configured. So the call sign is configured with it. It's going to be using the Digi rig, and the PTT is set up. So we've got Direwolf up and running. Let's open up the PAT Winlink client, and we'll try to make a packet gateway connection. You'll see it's already listening on AX25 and Telnet. So listening on AX25 means we can do gateway connections or peer-to-peer connections already set up for peer-to-peer. So let's click on connect. We'll use a transport method of AX25, and I'm going to use Whiskey Charlie 4 Echo Oscar Charlie -8. That's a local, easily accessible packet gateway for where I am, the Williamson County EOC. So we've got it put in there. Let's go ahead and click connect, and we'll go ahead and see if we can get a Winlink connection done. All right, in Direwolf, I see packets going out. I see packets coming back. I get prompted for my password. Go ahead and put it in there. This part is not persistent out of the box. If you choose to run pat configure and add your password there, and then use the pat modules save script, it will save the configuration with your password in it, so you won't have to put it in every time. But we can see down here at the bottom, we've done the connection. It's checked. I have no new messages, and it has disconnected. That's a successful Winlink connection already done. So we'll close out pat. We'll leave Direwolf up and running. We'll need a packet modem to do APRS. So let's open up the YAC APRS client. And right off the bat, you'll notice that you're on a blank map, which isn't going to be very helpful, but I don't know where you live, so I didn't include any maps for you. But since we're already connected to the internet, go over to the File menu, come down to OpenStreetMap, and select Download Pre-Imported Tiles. By default, YAC wants to put in 400-kilometer radius of tiles that it wants to download for you. For the purposes of this video and to make it a little bit quicker, I'm just going to put 100 in there. We'll get that downloaded pretty quickly. Now these offline maps are saved in persistent storage as well, so they'll be available on future boots. I can already see some stations populating on my blank map, so I am hearing APRS traffic. Now that those maps are downloaded, to refresh the view, if you just zoom out and in and out once or twice, it'll refresh that for you, so you can have your maps populated, zoom in on your location, and see where you're at. Go ahead and send out a beacon, BCN up at the top. We see that beacon has gone out, but I want to verify that I'm actually making it to an iGate. I want to know if I'm making it to the internet side of things. So open up the browser, APRS.fi. And I can see my station icon there. Click on it. I see that's only about a minute old. So yeah, my beacon is getting out. I'm making it to an iGate, and I am on APRS.fi. So APRS is up and working. So let's close out this browser and close out YAC. And we can close Direwolf. We're done with that for now. Let's go ahead and see these offline maps where they're stored. So in the QRV directory, the offline maps have their own directory, which means that whether you put in your call sign or you let another station use your arcOS machine, these offline maps are available for any station that fills out that station setup. Let's try out FL Digi. FL Digi, there's a couple things that arcOS has built into it. One is a ping function. So if you're working with a friend, some club members or something like that, and you want to see if your station is working and can reach out to them, you can use the ping macro to send a ping to their station, and if their station is up and running, they can respond back. What it listens for is a particular string of text, and when it hears it, it'll automatically respond to it. When you have the waterfall go in there, the blue and yellow section. That's basically what white noise looks like. So I turned the squelch up to make the noise stop, and then opened it back up to make sure I can hear everything that's going on. The station that I'm pinging is also my station. It's here in the same room with me. So I'm going to ping myself, but I'm not pinging this station. I'm pinging a different computer and a different radio. So we're transmitting our ping. And then we start seeing a response come back. So from the station we pinged, we get a pong in return, and that lets us know that FL Digi is up and running, or else it wouldn't have ponged. But it also lets us know that FL Amp and FL Message are up and running on that other station. So if we need to send them a file or a message form, their station is up and ready to receive those. And we also know how long they've been up and running. So that's FL Digi. Quick run through. Let's go check out WSJTX, do some FT8 real quick. Because cat control is not configured, you may notice that it's set up on the 2 meter frequency right now, but I have actually switched over to the HF radio, an ICOM IC718, and I'm up on 20 meters for FT8. So just because cat control is not involved is the reason that you'll see the 2 meter instead of 20 there. You can change it if you want to. It doesn't affect anything other than the logging. But I already see some stations populating in the band activity window. Let's go ahead and see if we can maybe grab one and make a quick contact. We'll choose KI7 PM. We'll give them a quick try. So I've double clicked them. I'll go ahead and enable TX and see if maybe we can get a quick contact in. We already know that we're hearing stations and we're transmitting, so I won't consider it a failure if we don't get a response. If it takes a long time, I'll just move on. But we'll see if we can get a quick QSO in and maybe show that this works. And I do see now down in the station info section, the QRV module version shows as up to date. It's got a check mark next to it, so we know that we are on the current modules. All right, we're getting a response. So they've reported us as -5 dB. I'm reporting back to them. I hear them at +11 dB. We should get a Roger, Roger from them, and we'll send a 7.3 back. Hopefully we can finish up this contact. All right, so we've got the Roger, Roger from them. Our 7.3 is going out. So a successful FT8 contact already done. Once that finishes transmitting, we'll go ahead and close out WSJTX. And let's go to JS8 Call. So I'll switch the radio over to 14.078 for JS8 Call. And I don't hear any traffic. JS8 Call sometimes isn't quite as busy as FT8, but we can send out a heartbeat and see if anybody hears us, and we'll report back what our signal to noise ratio is, so at least know that we're transmitting and being heard. And I'm just using 10 watts on this HF radio, so both FT8 and JS8, just 10 watts. All right, we've got some heartbeat reply, well, a reply back to us, so we know that JS8 Call is working. so good deal. Let's go ahead and close out JS8 Call. Okay, maybe there's no more coming in. So we got 2 heartbeat replies back. Let's go ahead and close out JS8 Call. All right, so that is arcOS, a full walkthrough of all the included software. Hope to see you on the air soon. Hopefully you enjoy it. Have any problems with it, please report it as an issue on GitHub, and I'll see if I can get it fixed and get us all working together.